Hey guys, welcome back to the Hide for an impromptu optic review. So I had been needing a kind of a more budget-minded optic for this little 22, this little Savage here at the Hide. I ended up having to use the scope I had on this for another project, so this one was without. And I was looking for something, it wasn't going to break the bank, I could still use, because this is just a plinker rifle, so it doesn't need to be anything, super extravagant. So I had been seeing just a crazy amount of reviews on the CVLIFE scopes. So they did not send me this. I got this, bought it myself, because I wanted to see what it was all about. I'd seen probably, I'd say within about a week's time, pop up in my YouTube feed probably 15 different reviews on CVLIFE optics. So they have been pumping them out to reviewers pretty regularly, apparently. So I thought, why not? Let's find one. We'll get it in, see what it's all about. This is one of their 4 to 16 power tactical, and I'll use that term very loosely, but that's what they call it. By 44, so it's got an adjustable objective out front for your parallax. This is illuminated green and red. It has exposed turrets. I guess I should probably talk about the turrets first. So I am not going to shoot my regular scope review battery of tests with this optic. I know it won't pass, so there's no sense in wasting the ammo to do that on a higher end rifle. However, I do like the fact that the scopes, the turrets are lockable. That's really cool. It's a good feature. This scope comes in, I think it was a little less than 60 bucks. So again, what do you really expect you're going to get for 60 bucks? I mean, I know that, but the turrets are pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. They are very, I don't even know. I apologize for the wind, but this, you can always tell if it's a good turret system or not. If the turret begins to move without hearing any discernible click, which right there you've seen the turret move, there was no click. So there is a lot of mush. There it finally did move and click. And the same with the windage. Now, the interesting thing that I found whenever I took this out of the box, got it mounted, and I was adjusting, I'm only shooting this at 50 yards, so I zeroed it with some CCI standard at 50. Whenever I was bringing the reticle down, the reticle actually stopped moving, and then I tapped on the top of the turret and it fell. And it has been fine since, and I've shot this a little bit now and it stayed zero, so I don't know what that was about, but definitely be mindful for that. It did come with the battery for the illumination. Now this did come with a set of scope rings and scope caps. In my advice, and do exactly what I did, was take those, wrap them up really nicely, and hurl them in the garbage, because that's about all they are. The scope caps didn't even fit. They fell off as soon as I took them out of the box. The scope rings, I never use scope rings that come with a scope, especially a cheaper scope, because they're junk. Leopold rifleman rings are like $25 a pair, so you might as well add 25 bucks to the price of this scope, in my opinion, to get yourself a decent usable set of rings. I have used so many sets of these Leopold rifleman rings over the years, it's not even funny, and I have never had a problem. They have always been true, and I've always had good results with them, and they don't break the bank. They're really cost effective. Now, let me see if I can get some pictures through the glass here. Now, again, like I said, there it goes. So see if we can get it to there. So again, that is 50 yards. Not super massive amount of distance, but you can see that there is definite hazing around the scope picture. You do see that in lower priced optics. I mean, that's nothing to be unheard of. I mean, it's expected, I guess I should say. The reticle is very thick. I mean, it's usable for what I'm doing, just dinking around here at the Hide, just blasting some 22 on targets and shooting some steel with. The illumination on the higher settings, it's really bad. You can see the spillage. And again, the scope was less than 60 bucks. What do you expect? But it is illuminated. You turn it down to the lower settings. It's not as bad, but it's still pretty rough. Let me move the scope over. So this is on 16 power, and the gongs you can see there in the center of the picture, those are at 210 yards. So I mean, it's clear enough to make some shots. Are you really going to do any type of precision work with this tactical scope? No, probably not. So with this being said, you know, what is a scope like this? What is its real purpose? It could be just a placeholder, guys, until you could get something a little bit better. There's nothing wrong with that. This would at least get you out shooting. You know, what do you expect for, I think it was what, 58 bucks, something like that. It wasn't very expensive at all, and at least got me back here shooting. But other than that, those are my gripes and complaints with it. You know, kind of take that with a grain of salt. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this review, and if you want to see any more like it. As always, guys, shoot straight. Later.